could an attacker bypass our system with some of these deepfake solutions that exist? There are so many different ways, unfortunately, that AI can be weaponized. These are the very things that we're using it to protect our environment. I talked about the adaptive capability of looking at an environment, baselining it, understanding data flow, volume, and just being able to know when, due to that volume, there may be a better time to attack or not, being able to hide within an infrastructure. Obviously, AI can create its own malware. AI is, at a level now where it can figure out almost like a virus. Well, it is literally a virus for the infrastructure, but an adaptive one that can fail, for example, one time, be reconstructed, and then relaunched with better results and better effect from a negative perspective. So there's all of these things that are very scary when it comes to, or in a way that AI can be weaponized. The one I think that's the most well known are these things called deepfakes. And this type of technology could be its own series of discussions when it comes to both personally identifiable information, our likeness, our voice, being able to spoof that, to be able to mimic that to such a point where it's indistinguishable from us doing it in reality. It gives you pause. In the end of the day, what do we do about it? I talked earlier about these generative adversarial networks. That's one of the systems that can be used for good, meaning that it'll create this synthetic data to such a level that it does look indistinguishable, but there's also the discriminator side that can actually detect these synthetic deep fake attempts. So we do have that technology that is there. That said, what does this mean for identity and access management? What does this mean for when someone asks us for our approval on something? Someone calls us on the phone, or we have some kind of video conference. How do we know that we're actually speaking to the real person? This has very large implications to how we authenticate ourselves to ensure that attackers are not going to be able to utilize our likeness, utilize our voice, to be able to bypass very specific security systems and controls to gain access to our critical data or even to our finances. What that means for us is we have to be cognizant of our image, a lot of sharing of our image online, for example, on Facebook and other social media platforms, and recognizing even when we are speaking on the phone, the words that we are using, making sure that we are thinking about what we are sharing on the internet. It's unfortunate, but it is something that we do need to keep track of. And for the future, this also means when it comes to making transactions, or to authenticating, we should be thinking about this now. We should be thinking about, could an attacker bypass our system with some of these deepfake solutions that exist? And what are some of the other potential solutions that can defeat that? So we need to, I think, as a forward step, we do need to start thinking about this now, even if the technology is not yet at a level that it could be successful at a high degree of accuracy. We know at some point it likely will become that. So as security professionals within the cybersecurity space, we need to be thinking about these AI challenges now. And by doing so, we can be more prepared for the future. So I guess I'll ask that question to you. In what ways do you see deepfake technologies being utilized as an attack? And have you thought about some solutions that can help from an authentication perspective or to defeat, in general, these deepfake attacks? Please put your comments below. Let's continue this conversation.